हम बहुत जनरली कुछ वर्ड्स को अपने बीच में बोल देते हैं, हम डिप्रेशन में है, एंजाइटी में है, कुछ भी अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. एक्चुअली डिप्रेशन एक बहुत हैवी वर्ड होता है एंड ऐसे बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हम डेली लाइफ में यूज़ करते हैं. जिन्होंने इस चीज़ की पढ़ाई की हुई है उन्हीं से समझते हैं. साइकोलॉजिस्ट श्रेया जी हमारे साथ में, आपका स्वागत है TSS पे.
Thank you for having me, Saubhagya.
There was a meme I recently saw. It said that you go to a psychologist and they refer you to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
So why is it so? Like if you have studied about certain thing, is it just constrained till the time you are talking, and as soon as it comes that you are not able to handle it like through the conversations, you send it for the medicines?
It depends upon the severity of the condition. So if the case in front of me requires to take up medicines, if their symptoms are out of control, somebody is suicidal, so you need to give them SSRIs, so to uplift the mood, right? So there, if I see that somebody needs that kind of help, because otherwise they'll be, no, you cannot follow your clients everywhere. So you need to provide that kind of support to your client, and you have to be honest in the sense that, you know, this case is not your forte, or this case can be, you know, requires a psychiatrist's help. So that is okay to refer. Even psychiatrists refer to counselors, to psychologists.
Okay, is that so?
Yes, because they do not give so much time discussing clients' issues. They are more interested to diagnose. They are more interested to come to the conclusion where their role is to like
generally what doctors do, test and medicine.
They do.
When they are confirmed ki it is a depression or anxiety, they provide the medicines.
They would do that. They also do some counseling, but they, because their profession they does not allow them to give that much time, and they are not trained in all of the therapeutic methods. So they don't give such therapies. They refer to us, and also the psychiatrists are more focused to like diminish the symptoms. They are focused on the symptoms. They are not there to actually follow through if the clients are progressing that much. But when you're talking to a psychologist, they would even go to your past. They would even discuss the current situation. They want to see that you have made the changes that would help. You know, they actually give you some skills where even in the future you can handle those similar situations. You are able to handle, or you get a lot of self-awareness that, you know, I am maybe repeating my pattern, or maybe I am again going into that phase. So unless you have discussed or you have, you know, practiced skills, you cannot follow those things in your life, because that requires to make some changes. So their psychiatrists also cannot help that much.
आपने साइकोलॉजिस्ट करने का कब सोचा, क्यों सोचा? जनरली एक कन्वेंशनल पाथ नहीं होता ये. सो आपका थिंकिंग कैसा है कि मुझे साइकोलॉजी करनी है?
I was into a conventional path previously when I was doing my like 9th-10th onwards. Like I was preparing for NEET. So I was on that path itself, but during my preparation I realized that I entered a rat race. I'm not sure if I want to go to that field. I got 1 or 2 colleges for myself.
For psychology.
Yeah, I got the admission. So
psychology कहाँ से की आपने?
I joined the Newtia University in West Bengal.
Okay.
And after that I went to Geetam in Visakhapatnam for my masters in applied psychology itself.
So the first thing when you entered the psychology college, or when you were studying about it, do you really like the concept of reading human minds as a person? What's your character type? Like, do you really like going into the minds of people?
I think I was very observant to people's behaviors from the start. And when you're asking about people's mind or something, I think it's an art to explore others' mind. It
Right.
can, like, no, not everybody can do it. So we learn that through our like professors, like we learn through our books. So if somebody, let's say, wants to just watch 2-3 YouTube videos and they are like, okay, and now I'm interested.
Yeah.
So that's just the start. There you find, like, there you realize that you're curious, but you need to learn that through education.
But what are the exact learnings generally? मतलब ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि something written into text or explained by professors हम इतना ज़्यादा उसे सीख जाएं कि we can actually go. So is it our craft also somewhere, because सारे students तो same तरीके से उसको नहीं pursue कर पाते
Yes,
हैं.
definitely.
So अपनी भी observations उसमें काम आती होंगी.
हाँ, उसमें है एक्चुअली, आपको सेम चीज़ें मिल रही है बुक्स में, बट what happens is there's this personal, you know, you get that insight where are you able to actually understand and connect the
Okay.
descriptions. Let's say if I am sharing a story, so you may not actually like hear me.
Right.
You're able to listen me, but you are not
hearing me.
understanding
Yeah.
me. So that is, I think, like a craft of the person who is there. But after training, what happens is you understand the technicalities, and those skills or whatever is suggested in the books, they are well researched. They are experiments who like which were done way back, and those experiments were included like many hundreds and thousands of people. So you can generalize those also.
Do these readings also change, because sometimes books remains constant through many years, but
No.
sometimes the things change, like you must have read about the body language also in psychology.
Yes.
So sometimes it's said that if someone is like doing their hands like that, they are neglecting the conversation or avoiding the conversation and not interested so much. अगर वो
Yeah,
ऐसे
they are
हाथ
being
करके बैठते हैं.
defensive.
Yeah. एंड अगर ऐसे हाथ खोल के बात करें, दे वांट टू टॉक मोर. बट इन जनरल आजकल बहुत लोग का होता है कि दिस इज अ कंफर्ट गेस्चर, तो उनको रियलाइज भी नहीं है, दे आर डूइंग लाइक दिस एंड हियरिंग आल्सो. सो थिंग्स चेंज विद टाइम एंड बुक्स डजंट अपडेट सो मच.
See, majority of the studies were from abroad. Like
right.
Germany was the hub. Then American studies were there. So they put a lot of resources into those researches.
Right.
And if, let's say, I want to replicate a study also, just to see if there is any change among people right now, I may not get that much funding. So we must be, after reading the researches also, we must be open to see that there can be exceptions. And we cannot just conclude anything just by books. Or
also many regions in the same country have different cultures and different mindsets.
Right.
So learning the studies from different countries, like we are just generalizing it, and human mind is not so generalized. So I really think that government is putting lack of efforts in a lot of fields in studies, because हम किसी भी फील्ड में अगर स्टडीज़ की बात करें, like I connect from crafting and acting industry, so वहाँ पर भी जो रिसर्चेज हैं, जो हमारे पास बुक्स अवेलेबल हैं, वो सारी स्टडीज़ अदर कंट्रीज़ की हैं. इंडिया में किसी भी फील्ड पे बहुत स्टडीज़ या बहुत ज़्यादा हमारे पास डेटा अवेलेबल नहीं होता है, जबकि एवरी रीजन, एवरी कंट्री इज़ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ फिल्म मेकिंग इन माई केस, एंड इन दैट केस लाइक every country is different kind of mindsets. China is living with completely different mindsets. Like India is so much passionate about love, romanticism. But in China, a girl came from China right now in TRS, the Ranveer show, and she spoke out. Like generally Chinese things doesn't come out, how they think, how they do. But she doesn't live in China right now. She has left China 5 years ago. So she was telling about the mentality. So people are so focused about life, goals and career that they have no time to waste on love. And Indian media, like cinema, everything has nurtured us so well कि we are so much empathetic, emotional, and Indians in general culturally are rooted so much. So I feel that our study should matter to us more, and studies should be conducted more so that we can have more data of our country for our people.
Yeah, that's true. But if you see, there are a lot of cross-cultural studies also.
Yeah.
So that would actually determine if those theories or those points which we are discussing, are they same, are they generalizable or not. But at core, if you see human mind, it has evolved,
Yeah, so much.
so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And so it was like there is an effect of culture always, but there are a lot of things or a lot of behaviors that we do is is not that easily influenced by culture, because a lot of us is biology.
Right.
So there would be minute changes, I would say, because in a sense, culture and mindset definitely determines how we are behaving right now. But like as you're giving example of China, but if you say we are not that much informed also. We are not aware of our own diverse culture in India itself. So if you go to do the same study in different region, north or south, let's say, so there also you will find differences. But when we are taking core topics, core behaviors, they would be same. So it depends on what aspect we are discussing, human behavior, and on what level culture influences that behavior.
एक बार out of topic जा रहा हूँ मैं, but you're so soft and well spoken. So is it because of your parental nurturing or the psychologist nurtured you this way? Are all psychology students behave the same way, so soft spoken or like that?
No, I think you're referring to my personality right now, because I think I am in a formal setup, so this is a way. But if you see, psychologists have to be have to have a certain demeanor, have to have a certain body language when they are talking to a client. But right now we are just doing a podcast, so this is, I think this is not about me being a psychologist, or I think this is me as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the depression, anxiety, and more of these words? Like these two words have been in mass media now, out there with all the people. But are there some more words like this, and what do they actually mean, and how do people nowadays think about them? You must have heard them a lot.
I think the most popularly used term is trauma these days.
Yeah.
And trauma is being misused or misunderstood in a sense that anything that has hurt you, or you want to mean, like if you want to share any experience that was unpleasant, you just term it as trauma. But trauma is a psychological wound, and that wound would impact all of the areas of your life, your relationships, your profession, your whole being. Because that damages your perspectives and your cognition. So when I refer to a certain experience as a trauma, that has to impact my functionality. And when I say functionality, it can be either my profession, my social life, or my personal relationships. So that is one thing. When people are saying I was depressed, so maybe they were sad, or maybe they were not able to do anything. The thing is, they are not able to understand that whenever we use such jargons, we want ourselves to be put in a box, right? So I think that becomes an excuse for not doing well, or for not
performing to the
showing
max.
up. So because social media has normalized this, there is a, I think, benefit for talking out our emotions, talking about our emotions. But at the same time, if we are not taking the accountability to actually make some changes. So if you see, a lot of people are in social media, they say like, my therapist told me so, or I talked to my therapist. So that is a good thing. I think that is helping us to move away from the taboo that mental health was earlier we used to say, right? Pagal directly. So now we are understanding that mental health has that spectrum where people can be low, where people can be depressed, or where people can be mentally challenged also. So there are a lot of issues. But the popular things are these days anxiety or depression or trauma is because we are not earlier our parents' generation, they were tough. They didn't know such terms. They were able to take up all those challenges. They were resilient. Now after knowing all this, we are self-aware, but we are also taking these words as excuses.
Right. But trauma, जैसे आपने बताया कि it generally affects the current life also, the current behavior pattern. But somehow one kind of trauma which is generally spoken is childhood trauma. That I had this, and that strikes at some definite situations. Like if the same situation arises at the current time, then it affects. In general life, it doesn't. So then people tell that don't use this word, it connects to my childhood trauma or something. So is that also true that sometimes it can connect to just one situation and not other aspects of your life?
Yes, actually, if you ask me to give an example of childhood trauma, so childhood trauma can be neglect from parents, let's say. So your behavioral pattern developed from childhood. So over the years, you are comfortable with neglect. Even though that is not ideal, you are comfortable now. So too much attention or care would make you uncomfortable. So you would not allow others to care for you. So that has become your pattern now. And if somebody triggers that, in a sense, that in a relationship, that is normal to care for our significant partner, right? So if that care only triggers you, so that is unhealthy. So there you can explain that it is coming from childhood trauma, right? So that is one aspect only, right? Because parents and our relationship with parents would affect our relationship with partner as well. But that would not affect our professional life. Because there nobody is caring for us in that sense. So that is not triggered, we are comfortable, we are doing our work fine. So I think you can draw the parallel for any kind of childhood trauma.
So trauma generally is something related to past, है ना? What about the depression? What about anxiety? What are these terms used for?
Anxiety is persistent worrying, and you have intrusive thoughts. You have preoccupation for the future. You are uncertain, you are worried about the future. So that is anxiety. And anxiety, by evolution, it is good. Like as we say, stress is good if it is at an optimal level. So does the anxiety. It is helpful. So when we say that we are not able to channelize our thoughts, we are bombarded with a lot of thoughts about future, and that is making our nervous system excited. And so we have those symptoms that are anxious symptoms, right? Palpitations, heavy breathing, or sweating. So that is a real dysfunction, that is a real mental health issue. But for such condition, people are not using the word anxiety, right? They are not even aware that what is anxiety. When they want to say they are worried or nervous, they would say I am anxious.
It is generally also used as a synonym of stress.
Yes. We are normally using that word, but anxiety can be used unless you are, you want yourself to be referred as a person with anxiety. Because if you go to a psychologist or psychiatrist, and if they have done tests on you, if they have diagnosed you, they'll write that this person is with anxiety or whatever. So unless you want to be put into that box, you don't I would suggest we should not normalize those words, but that is like a common lingo these days, that they are using nervous, anxiety, any of such words.
And what is properly depressed?
Yes, depression is like a constant low mood, and the timeline for that to understand if the person is actually depressed or not is 2 weeks or more. So if you are depressed continuously for let's say 2 weeks and more, and your appetite has been disturbed, or sleep is affected, or you are feeling low in energy, or you're unable to do any tasks which you were interested before. So see, when people are not working for 2 weeks and they are just in their bed, they would say by criteria I fit into this, depression, like I'm depressed. So that the one thing that is important to understand depression is the kind of thoughts you're having while you're in that phase. So the thoughts are always negative. That is like either with respect to the world, that the world is or the people are not good, thoughts. Negative thoughts about people, or about yourself, that I am unworthy, not good enough, anything. So those are crucial factors. When if I have to like really check if somebody is depressed, I would ask them questions apart from what you have done in activity, like were you active or not. Those thoughts are important, and also if that has affected my daily life in the sense that was I not able to work at all, or daily grooming, or social life, or anything like that. So all those things have to be checked before saying that somebody is depressed.
And sometimes when we are in like people, when they say they are in depression, a lot of these days in teenagers, especially when they say this, it comes from the relationship background, like there's a breakup, so they are like for depression, and they come out of it within a week. So is that really a depression if they are coming out of it within a week?
No, because I said that criteria is for like 2 weeks or more.
So what can this be? Like in this also 1 week phase, they can be like sleepless or thoughtless. Sometimes they are blank in their mind, not thinking anything, not negative, not positive, nothing. They are not able to sleep sometimes. What can this condition be called, and how can this be addressed? Because this is a very big condition going in a mass level on teenagers.
The thing which you are referring to is just experiencing your emotions. That is a state or a phase that should not be diagnosed or termed anything as such. I think we should normalize these things instead of the word depression or anxiety. Having emotions and having like processing emotions should be normalized. If I am taking a week to process a certain emotion or a breakup, that is okay. If I take 6 months, that is also okay. But for 6 months, if I am doing nothing, or I am low, or I am having thoughts to kill myself, or I am going to those extremes, that is a problem. But just if you are saying that some teenagers are going through that low phase for a week or for 2 weeks, month, that is fine. And
so the following question should be how to overcome this.
So you need to recognize that you have gone through something, and why you're feeling that emotion is because you expected something and that did not happen. So that is like an obvious thing to feel disappointed, sad, betrayed, whatever. So once you label that I am going through this thing, because defining the situation that this has happened and I'm going through this thing, and then you think about the next step forward. Once you have done processing that this has this has impacted me this way, that is all fine, but you have to, some people don't feel the hope actually, that is the main issue. So you, if you're not able to see the hope for the future, you reach out. I think that is the most easiest solution, that instead of just going through those things alone, you reach out to your friend, your parent, to whoever you're comfortable with, and you would realize that when you're talking about those things, you feel lighter. So then your mental fog is gone. Now you're able to see what you want to do ahead, and what you want to do about this situation, where like, are you able to control anything about this, or where you can actually do some work to change your mood. So in such conditions, we advise people to take up activities, to go out, to not just sit with those thoughts for a long period of time. Like, ruminating is actually a shortcut to depression. If you are not coming out of those thoughts, thinking that, you know, that is the end of my life, then nobody can help you. So you have to see that pattern in yourself, that you're going into rumination.
But this is also one thing मैं भी ऑब्जर्व किया हूँ, बहुत ज़्यादा लोग और ज़्यादा उस चीज़ के बारे में सोचते हैं, that I should feel bad about this thing. किसी न किसी वजह से ही हम डिप्रेशन में जाते हैं. तो जो भी वो रीज़न होता है, we trying to find out और ज़्यादा कि हम और ज़्यादा उसको कैसे सोचें, या हमको बुरा लगना चाहिए, अगर नहीं भी लगता तो we force ourselves कि we should think, और हम सोच के ज़्यादा और बुरा लगने लगता है हमको अपने आप में. ऐसा बहुत बार होता है कि we just lie down and think कि यार ये तो गलत हुआ था मेरे साथ, and overthinking की वो circle start हो जाती है, and we go deeper into it, and that's where the problem start, I guess. Like, if someone is going through a breakup, they will play Arijit Singh songs more, so that will like put them in more deep depression maybe.
Have you heard of this line that like, when you want to get out of some place, you need to go through that place, like that the door is ahead, the light is there, but if you think that there is a way where you will take a turn, a circle, and then you will cross that, no, you cannot. Actually, you have to face that dark phase. You have to face those emotions, because let's say you have not processed those things, you distracted yourself, then after some time, because you were hurt, you will feel, you know, that those memories would come back to you, and then those unprocessed emotions take other forms. Maybe you suddenly become irritable, aggressive. You are not aware where those emotions are coming from, so they take other shapes and forms. So I would say, when you are, let's say, listening to a lot of Arijit Singh songs, that is helping you to cry, that is helping you to see that, you know, you start to picture those things in your head, that what you're going through and what you deserve. Sometimes that hits, right? That, no, I do not want to be sad anymore. So if you are not allowing yourself to be sad, when you will realize that you do not want that. So people would suggest to distract is because sometimes when people go into that thing, what they do is they are taking all other evidences from their life, that why they were being treated this way. Maybe their siblings have before treated them this way, or parents. So they are taking up all those different areas of their life, they're combining, and in the whole they are feeling that, you know, they are in this dark pit, and nobody can help them anymore. So that is the problem. When you're saying that people go deeper, that is the problem. So there I suggested that you need to talk. That you need to understand that you're generalizing things, or you're thinking in a black and white way, good or bad. So there, talking to people or a therapist would help. But if you are saying that we should just completely ignore what has happened to us, that is wrong.
Yeah. So what is the difference between like psychologist, psychiatrist and therapist?
The differentiating factor is the training
Okay.
and the kind of work they do. So psychologists are mostly involved in talk therapy. So therapist or psychologist, you can say the same thing. So psychiatrists actually are trained to give medicine, like they have done their medical MBBS.
Okay, yeah.
So after that they've taken psychiatry for the post.
So as a person, not as a psychologist, I want to ask you, as a person, do you trust in these things like past life regression therapies, like some astrologers give them? They consider it as a science. I took a podcast regarding that, and they tell that it is also science. It's a brain science, human science, and we go to the past life of a person and dig out the what trauma is hunting them from past lives. Do like not from the studies? Do you personally believe in these things? Studies must don't believe, I guess.
Yeah. There are no such evidence-based studies. But personally, I do not believe in those
And what
things.
about astrology?
Astrology is also a science, right? So because they are studying something intangible, does not mean that that
It doesn't
is
exist.
you cannot believe those things. But I think just completely relying on any such, even if it's astrology, psychology, whatever, is not right. I, being a professional psychologist, would obviously vouch for our theories, our science.
Right.
But there also, as I said, that the researches are manipulated sometimes. You are not you cannot always be sure that some study 100 year ago is applicable to a person at this age. So there also, if people are studying astrology, if they are following, they have some principles where they think that every human during their birth time had some planetary conditions. So accordingly the birth charts are there and they study those things.
Right.
So that is also a science, because those are calculated. No, but what are you getting out of those things, and should you just blindly follow those readings? I am not very fan of those things.
Yeah. And you have counseled students also at different levels. Have you counseled the old age people at any level right now?
Old age,
In the sense 60s, 70s,
elderly,
elderly people.
No, I have not.
Not yet. But in studies, do you study something like the childhood behavior patterns are different and elderly people behave differently, or in the middle age, like when you're orienting towards success?
Yes.
So is it different for different ages? Like your studies, do they provide different theories for them?
Yes. In psychology, we have like specializations, right? So there are child psychologists. There are geriatric psychologists.
Okay.
So they are specialized in like studying those age individuals. So obviously, because at that time you are developing in a different way. Your brain chemistry is differing. So a child is not fully developed. Slowly they are developing. They are like learning about the world. So there you'll need to know different concepts, theories. And same goes for the elderly people, where a lot of skills and functions they are not able to do at that age. So then they are limited to a few functions. And also because of the experiences and the issue with the brain. So again, there would be different theories that would be applied.
Yeah.
So that is different.
So about overthinking nowadays, it is very frequent in young people also. The problem of overthinking. Is it a personal trait or psychological trait? The overthinking, is it just a personal thing, or it can be a psychological condition?
It is a psychological condition. Like, I would not say condition, but it is a state of mind. And this is also like, I think you use this as a mechanism to deal with a certain situation sometimes. Like, as you say, procrastination, or you're saying overthinking, or some people are just, they do not think at all. Some people are impulsive. So all these things are psychological traits. Overthinking is an outcome of some like situation where you have like acquired that as a pattern. So not every individual would have that. It depends.
But is overthinking actually good or bad, according to you? Generally, it's not good, I guess.
No, it is not, because it consumes your time.
Yeah.
And think that the kind of thoughts matter, right? Some people, if they are thinking to solve a problem, and if they are thinking in a divergent manner, okay, what all solutions can be there, so that is fine.
Yeah.
And when you say overthinking is just repeatedly thinking of the same issue, and that does not like brings you to an outcome or something, that is a waste of time, so it's not good.
Have you came across a myth regarding the like psychology or mental health issues? Some kind of myth which people believe most, and it is not true about it.
I think what people expect in therapy, a lot of times they think that I'll get some solution when I'll talk to a therapist. They'll provide me a solution.
Yeah.
I think that is a myth, because for every individual, they only would know that what's the best solution for their problem. We are able to give them the insight, that awareness that there is a problem in thinking, let's say in your behavior, and how that would affect the or worsen the current situation. But we'll not give them ready-made solutions. There is a another way, like there is a field like in therapy where we directly guide. That is called guidance.
Okay.
Guidance and counseling we study, right? So there, let's say a child wants some solution for their career. So then we'll guide them, we'll ask them to try this and that. So that is a different thing. But just in one session, if they're expecting a solution, then that is not reality.
Like in general, I think that people, when they are depressed or when they go through some mental health issues, they are thinking toward one point again and again. And you as psychologists or counselors, you help them to think in the another way. You just show them the path, but following or not following that path is their thing.
Yeah, but following on, see, we are there to facilitate, but we see there's a thing called therapeutic relationship, where I have to establish a relationship with my client so that they trust that we are on the same page, that I am equally concerned for their issue and I'm there to help. So then, once that relationship and trust is established, then they are, if they are willing, of course, then they are ready to follow through the sessions and actually, do those minor changes that is asked, or those exercises. So, as I said that in one session, you cannot even establish a relationship. If you're expecting a solution, then that would be a failure, that session. So it's a slow process, a time-taking process.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as a psychologist, how can people earn? Like monetary उसको कैसे convert कर सकते हैं हम? It's good that we are helping people, we are doing things. But at the end, how can a psychologist or the students who are doing psychology, how can they earn as a career?
See, we have a lot of fields, as I said, that through like different ages, there are different needs. So for child, there are different concerns. So there are experts, and for the elderly also, and even in the occupation, like in corporates, they hire organizational psychologists. In forensic studies, there are forensic psychologists. There are animal psychologists. There are like many fields. There are social psychologists, political psychologists. Many fields are there. So it depends upon the specialization. And if you are just speaking about the counselors or psychologists who are independently doing their thing, they are mostly doing through online like websites they have made, or telecoms, all those things. They have joined maybe other organizations who are doing the same in online, through online thing. For clinical psychologists, they get opportunities in hospitals also. So I think it depends how you are able to use those resources, because right now there are a lot of competition. I think people, because they are understanding that there is a need for mental health practitioners, they are going into those fields. But everybody is it's just doing their masters and thinking like they'll land up in a job. So that is not possible. You have to take up some niche. You have to go and see if you're actually good in that area or not. So if you're not that great in understanding the behaviors of the kids, and you just because you got a job and you joined as a behavioral counselor, you will not earn that much. After 1 year or two, you will not feel passionate about that field. So here we need to see that on which area we are good at, and we get a lot of opportunities. It depends.
But doesn't it makes the people dependent on a psychologist for treating their own mental health issues? Like if they take a session and they like it, then from every time, even for the minor things, like some people go for the doctors for even minor cough and colds to take Dolo 650 just to get prescribed. So doesn't that even happen with the clients of psychology?
See, if you are not a good therapist, that would happen. A good therapist would never make the client dependent. In a sense, we are putting them through situations, we are giving them exercises, we are making them sit with their emotions. All that jazz is just to make them independent for the future, for facing all those situations. So that should not happen ideally, but it still happens. It depends upon the client sometimes that they are not ready to follow through. They are not confident that they are able to solve those things alone. So they go to that therapist again and again. But if I am understanding this pattern, that this person is not taking up the charge, then I have to guide that person that way, so they do not rely on me all the time.
But if you want to get earned from them a lot, then you might misguide them to come to you again and again if you're not a good psychologist. Let's say.
But see, there are a lot of therapists. So if a client realizes, okay, they have become dependent, but they one day or the other they'll realize that they are not getting any benefit from those sessions, so they'll switch to others.
Let's go with some myth-bust questions. You just tell me that are they myths or facts. I will just tell the questions. Overthinkers are more intelligent.
Myth.
Introverts are always shy.
Myth.
Love can actually heal trauma.
Fact.
And most breakups lead to depression.
Myth.
Can we go more deep into these these topics? Why aren't overthinkers more intelligent according to you?
Because intelligence is the ability to adapt to situation and respond effectively to a situation. So an intelligent person no need to think so much. If it depends upon the processing speed of the information,
Yeah.
and how quick you are to respond to a situation.
Yeah, actually intelligent people must be a good decision makers, instant
Yes,
decisions maker.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So because they are analytical in their mind, not necessarily like being analytical is a sign of intelligence. I'm
Yeah.
saying when they're able to process a lot of information rapidly and come to a conclusion, that means they are adapting well to the situation, because
Yeah.
situation would not wait for you, right? So by definition, intelligent person would be faster to respond and effective to respond. So overthinkers may just waste their time and not come to the right or ideal behaviors.
Introverts generally seem to be shy, but you told it
No.
is a myth.
No.
Yeah, so why not?
So introverts are not shy. Like, it is not a synonymous word like introverts, shy people. That is not true, because introverts are not social with everybody. So they are social. They like people. They are not shy with among people whom they share, like with whom they feel that they are getting energized. So it is all about energy. Extroverts derive energy from outside, and introverts are actually they have a lot of energy in them when they are sitting with themselves or their close friends.
They enjoy their own company.
That yes, and if they are exposed to a social situation where they feel that these people would drain me out, so I'll behave shy, in a shy way, or I'll restrict to talk. I'll restrict myself to engage with people. So other people may say ki okay, she's shy or she's introverted, but actually they would not behave that in that same way when they wish to be like outspoken, when they wish to be excited. So it depends upon the room they are in, with the people they are. And extroverts are also not like very confident, like as you see, like extroverted people are always confident, or they are comfortable in every kind of space. That is also not true. Sometimes maybe, so I would say that there's like, it depends upon the situation, but if the majority of times I am like closed within myself, then you can say that maybe I'm introverted, because I enjoy my company more. So that is a myth, that there'd be shy in personality.
And love can actually heal trauma. You said it's a fact.
Yes.
So how love can actually help in healing trauma?
Because I think love, or okay, let's take up this in metaphor. So there's a plant. उसके कुछ पार्ट्स वो हो गए हैं, वितर होने लगे, तो वहाँ पे ये होता है ना कि आप उसको कट करते हो, बाकी पार्ट तो ठीक है, पर आप उसको कट कब करोगे? व्हेन यू विल गिव इट सम अटेंशन. तो यहाँ पे व्हेन आई से लव कैन एक्चुअली हील ट्रॉमा इज, आर यू एबल टू सी दैट देयर इज अ वुंड, एंड व्हेन यू विल सी, व्हेन यू विल बी कंसर्न्ड, when you will care for someone. So that attention, that nourishment, that is required.
Because according to me also, trauma is something which we cannot open about to everyone. So when you actually feel nourished and cared from someone, you can open it about to them, and if they are really lovable to you, they will also take care of it and help you to get out of it, because everyone won't even care about everyone.
Exactly.
Nobody has that time कि सब कोई सबके बारे में सोच पाए. तो when you have someone who really loves or care about you, they will try to help you to get out of it. So yeah, it will of course help. And most breakups lead to depression.
Yeah, that is a myth.
Yeah.
Because as I said, that we are thinking that for a span of time, if I am low, if I am hopeless, that is depression.
Yeah.
So that is a myth.
Yeah, we also covered it in the starting also, like breakups and thing. But not only about the love relations or romantic relations, about different relations, like if it's a father-son relation, and if they are departing because of any reason, death of father, or like son going out to different city or living there permanently, like a different country, they are meeting once in a year. So that is also kind of breakup, and that also hits us sometimes. So does it always lead to depression?
That is adjustment disorder.
Hmm.
See, if um, any such life events, if that is occurring to you, and you are taking 3 months, 6 months, a year to come to your like normal ways of being, then you are actually struggling to adjust with that particular life event. You call it adjustment disorder, not depression. Because the symptoms are maybe can be similar to either anxiety, either depression, or sometimes they affect your personality also. Like after a drastic life event, someone who was very joyous by nature, they suddenly become, a little
Kind of introverts.
like closed up,
Yeah.
not so happy. They would look very neutral most of the times. So that happened because they they thought that like they may have concluded that having so much excitement or positive emotions would not always help. Maybe that after some great event or party, some accident happened, and so that trauma, so that those reactions, those changes, that is a result of that life event. So that you can label as adjustment disorder.
Because myself going through it personally, I feel like it's a time span which you have to cross no matter what. The time you're calling it adjustment time. So it has to be crossed, it cannot be overlapped. I tried to do it a lot, but those 8 months, even when I did podcasts, those podcasts are clearly visible that I am very low on my energy. The other guest even told me after the podcast that you were sounding low. So I showed him my previous podcasts, and that was completely different. And I really struggled to get out of that phase because I was aware of it, and I tried to, but it wasn't possible. Unless and until the time has crossed, it is not possible. And when the time is crossed, you need not to struggle. It happens automatically, and you get back to life somehow, somewhere. It will be a part of you हमेशा के लिए, but at some moment you will get out of it, and that's what I felt. Like any situation is not in a certain way that it can't be overcome.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end, like, what do you feel can be a good advice for the younger generations who are going through any kind of mental issues? May it be a pressure from school side, like studies are so aggressive nowadays, or the competition they have with their classmates, may it be physical power or mental power or studies, etc. Or in a different way, it can be breakups or something. Or it's a very big culture in schools nowadays that teasing someone and making someone feel down with a group. So what all things you will be guiding to them as a senior, as a psychologist, that can help them at this age?
I think for school students or for college students, they appoint a therapist or psychologist. But if they are not, accessible, you, I think for any person, right from the school age, they need to develop a sense of self-worth. And with experience, they'd realize that all that has to be done has to be done from their end first. So if that requires courage to deal with bullies, if they are confused, so they realize that they need help. So realizing that they need help, that, and then understanding or having faith in themselves that they can overcome a tough situation. So that kind of agility, that kind of resilient mindset has to be developed right from the school age, because although talking about our emotions and everything is normalized, but that is somehow making us, okay, vulnerability is fine, but being soft and using everything, life circumstances and everything as an excuse would actually, you know, make us weaker as a person. We'll not be mentally tough. So that would be my, like, that is my suggestion. To first of all develop that thing where asking for help or talking about your emotion is not weakness. At the same time, just delving on those same emotions and being stuck in that situation is also not a very great sign of a mentally tough person. So you need to choose what you want to be.
As a psychologist yourself, do you sometimes go into this kind of mental patterns which is not right, which is not normal?
Yes.
And do you try to deal it with your studies, or it just gets healed by your own self? Like, how do you treat yourself as a psychologist?
See, for us actually, we are able to label that, okay, right now I am going into certain cognitive patterns which are not correct, that I am making a mistake here. So I have that awareness, but while I am going through something, I would not realize, because then I have not worked upon myself. That is a sign that I need to change this. So that I would realize later. So the main thing here comes is how, like, I am journaling, I am understanding that here I need to work. But I need a facilitator. I cannot do it alone. So a psychologist or a therapist also needs a therapist.
So have you ever seeken help from another psychologist for your thing?
Yes, I have.
And have you really felt it good to approach another psychologist?
Yes, definitely.
I was just reading some stats before you came for a psychology podcast. Like WHO reports that India accounts for nearly 15% of global mental health issues or disorders, and 1 of 7 Indians currently are going through some form of mental health issues, and yet only 0.75 psychiatrists per 1 lakh people are available. Like not even one psychologist per 1 lakh people. So it is a very big number if 1 out of 7 people are getting really affected by it, and the population of psychologists and psychiatrists are so less. So it is really a matter of concern, and I think that all the psychologist students or all the psychiatrists who have went through this process should take this career path seriously, and also open their personal clinics or get out to people by promotions or anything, that they should get to the psychologists. In India, there's a very big myth that people don't even think it as an issue. They are going through it. It is bigger than a physical issue, I guess. That physical issue, if you have a problem, you can't walk, but hand से आप काम कर सकते हो. But if you are mentally unstable, आपका कोई body part वैसे work नहीं कर पाएगा to its full potential. So people should also outreach to the psychologists, and if actually people start reaching out, there should be availability of so much psychologists and this students of this field. So I guess that all the people from your field should get inspired through this podcast and start their practice daily, and help people in any way. If they are not pursuing professionally or like for monetary terms, still they can help the people around them, so that we can make this world a better place to live in.
Yes, definitely.
What are your thoughts or ending thoughts on this?
I think, there is a need, but because you see the issue that you said, that one out of 7 people are struggling. So a lot of those those people, they are not aware that they're struggling. So only the popular terms are out. You're saying like depression, anxiety, but mental health का जो फील्ड है वो बहुत, उसमें बहुत सारे इश्यूज, बहुत सारे टर्म्स, बहुत सारे कंडीशंस हैं. सो उस हिसाब से वो स्टैट में ये है कि आप बहुत सारे इवन डिसऑर्डर्स का तो सिम्टम्स भी नहीं होता है, मतलब आपको नहीं समझ में आता है. आपके अराउंड वो लोग होंगे एंड यू विल थिंक दैट उनका ये नेचर है, उनका ये पर्सनैलिटी है. तो यहाँ पे ये मेन चीज़ है कि आप कब समझें कि आपको रीच आउट करना चाहिए. सो debunking myths is one thing. फिर talking about mental health conditions a lot, वो इंटरनेट पे ऑलरेडी हो रहा है. So slowly I think we are progressing to that level, but प्रोफेशनल्स की कमी इसलिए है क्योंकि आप देखोगे कि वो जो जर्नी है पूरा एजुकेशन से लेके आपको प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए आपको अलाउ कर रहे हैं कि नहीं. सो दैट becoming a licensed psychologist, that is really tough. Like becoming a psychiatrist is also tough. So because the system is such in such way that there are not a lot of seats, first thing, and then after that you are like utilizing 8 to 10 years in studies, and then you are not getting enough salary. So people they change, they switch careers. So it is all it depends upon the system. That has to change, and people have to be willing to pay that much amount for a session. A lot of people are discontinuing with therapies because that is costly. So all those things are there. That is maybe the reason for those stats.
That's true, and that's some real insight, क्योंकि actual ये चीज़ें हैं जो बड़े level पे नहीं दिखेंगी because studies are also influenced by governance. So somehow these things can only be talked on platforms like such YouTube, which is an open platform. So I'm grateful that I talked to you and we opened about it so nicely. There are a lot of more questions which we can do later on in some second part maybe of this podcast. But for today, how did you felt to be on this show and this experience of podcast?
I really enjoyed having this conversation. एक conversation होते होते I was like able to realize a lot of points कि यार actually we need to think upon these things. Like I was able to understand where I can actually start to make some changes or be more active as a psychologist. Like as you pointed out, the need for it. So that was mind opening for me, and I really enjoyed talking about it.
I'm grateful again to have you here, and it's not an easy job also if you pursue it clinically. We can see that clearly, because as a profession it's draining for self also. You are taking the negative points of someone and giving them your positivity, so it's draining for yourself. You are filling yourself with negativity and then dealing with those thoughts for a lack of money. People generally don't want to pay more. So these are some things which need to be highlighted, and I would love to talk about these points. Career of a psychologist. As soon as you step more into it, and maybe after months or 6 months, we can do again in-depth podcast regarding the career paths and why people don't want to pay more and what actually the scenario is. I would really like if you also explore more about this thing, like the financial part of it. So we can have a good conversation on that as well. But today was awesome talking to you, and for all our viewers, I hope you gained a lot of knowledge, strength and courage regarding your own thoughts. So let's end this podcast. I hope कि आपको ये podcast देख के अच्छा लगा होगा, and let's see you in some another podcast, another episode of TSS. See you. Thank you.